Hi, I wanted to give you a little information on something that I'm super excited about. It's my Start Anew retreat, which will take place in Barcelona, Spain this April from the 11th to the 16th. This retreat, I'm calling it Start Anew. This Georgia O'Keeffe quote has always really resonated with me. I decided to start anew, to strip away what I had been taught. And in the past few years, I've seen people, I've experienced it myself, come to a place where we see the contents of our mind in a different way. We see the patterns of our lives, the cycles that we always go through, the things we've been doing or feeling or carrying around with us year after year after year in a new way. And when you see that in a new way, it kind of does strip away what you've been taught. So much of our lives is spent kind of in our heads, in those habitual things, thoughts, feelings, behaviors, whatever they are. And without realizing it, we have so many limits on ourselves. We think we know how everything's going to turn out. We think we know what happens to people like us or what's possible in life. And we don't really realize the extent to which we have ourselves boxed in. Now, I know you realize it to some extent. I'm sure you do. I mean, we can all, you might be sitting at home listening, nodding. Yeah, I see that. But there's more. We're still like a fish in water that says, what's water, with our own thinking, because we just kind of live out these old thoughts and just ways of seeing things day after day after day, year after year. And it doesn't have to be that way. So what is really, really amazing, what I love more than anything in the world, is helping people kind of catch a glimpse of how our mind works and seeing that whole thing a little deeper, this whole thing we call being human, seeing it in a new way. And what happens is that we suddenly kind of feel free again. People say, oh my gosh, I felt like I did when I was 6. I don't have all these burdens and worries, like that heavy backpack that we carry around that feels like it's full of bricks. That, yeah, we can still have a nice life. You still get up, go to work, do your stuff, have moments of joy, I'm sure. But it's almost like there's that heavy backpack that's still there. And seeing some of this allows us to just set that backpack aside. It just falls away. We don't even set it aside. It falls away. We truly get to kind of strip away what we've been taught, or at least see through it, and start anew. And in addition to feeling sick, people report things like, having new insights, like seeing things in new ways, things from your past or things that didn't make sense before that you kind of say, oh, I see that differently now. It's really fun. I love when that happens. Or just having new ideas when people feel stuck. I don't know what I want to do, or I feel stuck in the same things over and over in life. A glimpse of this understanding and getting some of this freedom, it removes those barriers and people don't feel stuck anymore. You see new possibility. Even though it's always been there, we haven't always seen it because we're seeing the habitual stuff in our own heads so much. So when that falls away, we see things differently. So in this retreat, it's 5 days, I'm going to spend those 5 days taking you away from your life and talking with you, and we're all going to talk together about these things, and you are going to go home seeing life differently. That is the number one goal for me, there's no question. I know it's going to happen. See, selfishly, for me, I talk with people for an hour. I get you for an hour, and that's about it. And in that hour, if you've ever spoken with me, or maybe you can just imagine, things happen for sure. So people are busy, then they get on the phone, we get on our Skype call, and their thinking starts to settle down. And they say, oh, I see what she's saying. Or you start to see things in a new way. And then, just like that, the hour's up. And you go back to your life. And change happens, for sure. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen in 1 hour calls. It absolutely does. But we're up against something, that thinking comes back because we go back in and you go back to work, or you go back and do this, and all that stuff tends to come back. Now, this is why I designed this retreat. I want to kidnap you. I'm going to take you away. I'm going to take you to a castle up in the mountains in Barcelona. And we're going to talk about this for a big chunk of time. And we're going to live it and breathe it. And you will go home seeing life differently. I absolutely guarantee that. So that is the whole point of this retreat. Now let me tell you a little bit about kind of the perks. It's going to be really luxurious. I won't describe it too much, but please go to my website, dramyjohnson.com. On the sidebar, there's a big ad. Click on that, and it will take you to all kinds of pictures. I've been calling this place the castle. I don't know what to call it. It's basically a castle. It's like a 11 room, 11 bathroom castle in the hills, right outside of Barcelona, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. There's 350 private acres of mountains and ocean views and hot tubs and infinity pools and hammocks and little getaways and little hideaways on the grounds, where in between our talks, our group, community kind of talks, we can all go off and have a true retreat, get quiet, read a book, journal, take a nap, whatever it is that you most need to do during that time. So the amenities are amazing. Again, look at the pictures. There's going to be a private chef that comes and does all of our cooking for us. All of your transportation is going to be totally included. Some trips, some group activities are going to be totally included. The price for the entire retreat, every single thing except for airfare, is $3,999 for a private room. It's $3,599 if you want to share a room. So if you're bringing a friend or a spouse or partner, you can share a room, get a little discount. And that covers, again, everything except airfare to Barcelona and your own spending money for whatever you want to buy. So otherwise, it's all covered. And again, all the details are on the website. It's going to be a trip of a lifetime. I mean, just in terms of the digs and the accommodations and everything, it's amazing. But what's so much bigger is that we all get to start anew through this week together and see things in a new way, in a really deep way, that once we go home, we're going to take this into our lives. You really are. This isn't about techniques or mindsets or anything that might stay fresh for a little while and then fall away. This is different. This is truly seeing how life and our minds work in a way that once you see it, you're not the same. You can't help but start anew in some ways. And possibilities arise and all kinds of things just kind of fall into place that maybe have felt like a struggle for a long time. So I would love to have you there. If you're like every human on earth, you might be, kind of excited about this. Like if this is resonating with you, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. But you have a lot of chatter. Now I say, like, literally every good decision I've ever made, I've still had the chatter. Oh my gosh, I want children, but can I handle it? What if? And it doesn't mean it's not the thing for you. It just means that every single human on earth has a brain, and there's a part of your brain that likes to tell you what could go wrong. So if you've listened this far, something's probably resonating or like kind of calling you to this opportunity. And at the same time, you might be thinking, there's absolutely no way, I can't afford it, I can't get the time off of work, what am I going to do with my kids? It's never going to happen. If that's you and you really truly have both, just sit with it. Talk to me if you want. And I'm not a salesperson, trust me. I'm not going to try to persuade you into anything that's not right for you. But it's what I do to kind of help people sort out these different voices in their heads. So feel free to talk with me. Just sit it out, wait it out, and really, really give your little mind a chance to quiet down and see what calls to you. Because whether it's this opportunity or any opportunity in your life, we all say no to so many things that we don't have to say no to because of that voice, because of that chatter. So again, if this is really resonating with you, if it's not, it's totally okay. But if this does feel like something you would love, don't let all the obstacles keep you away from it. Talk with me and we can look at the obstacles, and I will work with you to help you through those obstacles. So if you register by, February 15th, I have a couple incentives to kind of get the ball rolling on this. People who register by February 15th are going to be in a few calls that I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 calls before the retreat, so like March, April, before we go, hour-long, 90-minute calls to kind of really get us going, get us primed and ready to see some big things when we arrive. And then we're going to do 2 calls afterward. So like 2 weeks and a month after or something once we've been home to help kind of integrate what you've seen and kind of take the trip back into your everyday life. So you're going to get to be on those 4 calls if you register by February 15th with everyone else who registers by that time. Also, for everyone that registers by the 15th, I'm going to do a private call with you afterward. So you're going to get an hour with me afterward, in May or late April, whenever it works for you, June, to kind of look at how your insights are growing, and how to keep this alive. And again, kind of keep the understanding that you're going to have showing up and working for you in your everyday life. If you register, so that's by February 15th. If you register by February 5th, so that's in just like maybe 3 weeks or so, I'm going to give you everything that I have, like everything I've created basically. So you'll get a package of all of my products, Fighting the Urge, The Art of Being Human, my anxiety course, my life coach training if you're interested in that, all of my books, and the new companion course, which is 20 videos that goes along with the little book, A Big Change. So basically just everything that I have. Everything I sell on my site, it's about $500 value. I'm going to give that to everyone that registers by February 5th. So keep those dates in mind. I'll have them written somewhere so you can look back at them. But really, really sit with this. If this is calling to you, really talk with me. I would love to answer questions, tell you more about what a day is going to look like or what you can expect. I would love to just do that on a case-by-case, individual basis. So reach out and I will make time to talk with you. I would love, love, love to have you there. It's going to be really amazing. So thanks for listening. I hope to hear from you.